Coming up on Kenny What You Grow, we're going to take some corn cobs and turn it into corn cob jelly. Welcome to Kenny What You Grow. I'm Holly Baird. Today we're going to take our corn cob and we're going to make corn cob jelly. Now we just use these corn cobs to process some corn, and we're going to go ahead and use them right away. We had processed some corn about a week ago, and we had put it in a zip top bag. We discovered that when we opened that up, that when we put it in the fridge, and after a few days it had this like fermented smell to it, so that's not good. So if you're going to make corn cob jelly, you want to make it with fresh corn cobs that you just processed that day, within the day. So simply all you have to do is just put your corn cobs in a stock pot and cover it with water and get it on the stove. So I'm going to do that and we'll get it on the stove here. Okay, so now you'll realize that your corn floats, and that's okay. So you're going to say, how do I cover it with water? Well, all you have to do is just hold it down and then make sure there's enough water covering it. And then once you get to that point, then you'll know that it's enough, because you don't want to overfill with water, because you want to you're basically making kind of like corn juice. So you want to make sure you're not adding too much water, because you really want to get a nice condensed corn flavor in your water. And then you're going to measure it before you cook it down into jelly, which we're going to get to. But we actually put a few extra ears in here just because some were kind of small. And so we're just going to let this come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we'll put it on a simmer, and you should let it simmer for about an hour just to get that nice corn flavor extracted from it. I'm going to put my cover on. That helps it boil faster. And then we'll come back when we get to the next step. Okay, so our corn juice is cooked down. So I'm going to take my corn cobs out now and put those in my compost. And then I measure 3.5 cups of this the cooked down water. Now you can strain this if you want. Maybe you don't want to have chunks of corn in your corn cob jelly, and that's okay. I think it'd be kind of fun to have a few chunks of corn, add some flavor, add some character, I guess. Not necessarily flavor, but just something different. Looks kind of fun, right? So let me get this all out here. Let me get this all out, and then I'll get it measured. Okay, so we have our 3.5 cups of corn juice in here, and now we're gonna get ready to make the jelly. I'm gonna get my ingredients put together real quick. Okay, so what we're doing now is we got our 3.5 cups of corn cob juice, whatever you want to call it, measured here, and then we have 3.5 cups of sugar. So dump that in there. We're going to stir it until it turns into a boil. And once it's boiled, we'll get to the next step, but you want to get your pectin ready and your lemon juice ready. Okay, so we've got our stuff here boiling. We're going to add our lemon juice. So we add 1 tablespoon. Then we give that a good stir. And then we're going to add our pectin. Okay. And keep stirring while you're adding it. Alright, and then we're just going to let that combine up and boil for a good minute. Okay, once it foamed up, I turn the heat off and let the foam come down, because you don't want foamy jelly that looks unappetizing. So it's thickening up, so I'm going to have to get in the jars soon, but I always test it simply by just putting it on a cold dish and then giving it a second. I already tested mine, but what you're going to do is you're going to just let it cool down for a minute, run your finger through it, and if it's gelled up, feels like jello, it's not as liquidy as this, then you know it's ready. As you can see, you can see how gelled up that is already in those few seconds. So your jelly is definitely going to set. So let me get a jar out. And we're leaving 1/2 inch headspace on this. So when you do it, just be careful, because it's little jars obviously fill up a lot quicker than quart jars. So you just want to make sure you're not putting a huge amount in there and then waiting. So let's see. Oh, okay, just a little more. And then what we'll do is we'll get these in the canner. We'll get these in the canner for 10 minutes. And that's if you have half pints or full pints. And then we'll get them out when they're ready. Wipe your rim, especially because this is pretty sticky. And then get your lids on and we'll get them in the canner. Okay, so it's done. It's been 10 minutes, so we're just going to go ahead and pull these out. Pretty simple. I'm just going to put them right here on my towel. We ended up with 4 half pints. It said, recipe said between 5 and 6, so we had, you know, sometimes it happens. And we tasted a little bit of it. We had some extra, excuse me, as you can see, and we tasted it. It doesn't have like a very strong flavor. It's more of like a caramely sugar flavor. So if you wanted to do this and you want like a really strong corn flavor, I would suggest cooking down your corn cobs maybe for a couple hours, or you could put them in like a slow cooker overnight or something, so that, and if you do that, the slow cooker overnight, then you want to vent the lid, but that way it'll infuse more corn flavor into the corn cob jelly. So we're okay with the fact that it's not too overly strong, and it's just a nice generic jelly flavor, and we can always use it for many different things, between layers of cakes or even just you know, some good jelly. So there you have it, corn cob jelly, something new and different to try, and give it a whirl, see how you like it. I'm Holly Baird, and this has been Canning What You Grow. For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.